All right, guys, welcome to the first live for Spilling Tea. I'm your host, Tiffany Daniels. With me today, I have Justice for Depp and Keely Talk. Later on, we should be getting Gary as well, and Haley is going to be on as soon as we can assist her in getting everything taken care of. So, guys, today is open chat. So, if you want to talk about autism, you want to talk about why I keep talking about the Judge Rotenberg Center and what that even is, you want to talk JD versus AH, or if you want to talk just Johnny Depp in general, or just something interesting that happened today. This is guided by you. So, chat room, what would you like to talk about today?
Who've we got here today, Tiffany? Who's come in your chat?
Oh, yeah. Roll call. Sorry, I'm very new.
That's why I'm making.
All right. So, roll call, folks. All right. We have... Go past... Bear with me, be gentle, folks. We have in the chat Tina Mitchell. Here you are. We have Isa Milo. We have Cherry K. We have Mandy. And looks like that's who we got.
Yay.
Everyone. All right. Hello, everybody. So, what are you folks interested in talking about today?
Oh. That's everyone saying. Everyone's saying congratulations on your first live stream, Tiffany. My first one was really terrifying. I thought nobody's gonna come.
You got people there. It was crazy though.
Yeah, my first one was very crazy.
Oh, you're good. No, I was a little nervous too. I figured a few people at least would come, and worst case scenario, we'd just sit on here and talk. So,
yeah. So, what's everyone been saying in the community? I know that there's been like. Obviously, me and Tammy have been talking about that with arranging a charity live stream for the Art of Elysium, and there's been people in the community that have been a little bit concerned, and because in case it gets misconstrued, and Turdy tries to twist it to make it look like that Jennifer was paid off. But we're not doing it on behalf of Johnny Depp. We're doing it on behalf of the community because we don't stand for bullying or harassment or threats of any type. And we're doing it to show love and support for Jennifer, and to show her that people have her back. Not for Johnny. Yes, we love Johnny Depp, but this isn't about Johnny Depp. This live stream that we're all trying to sort out behind the scenes.
Well, I mean, in my opinion, Keely, is that these people can't understand the idea. And by the way, hello, Diamond Knight 76. That's why I brought you up here. They can't understand this idea that our life does not revolve around Johnny Depp.
Exactly.
They can't understand the idea, the fact that we're standing by him because it's right and because there are issues being brought up with men with DV, people with disabilities who are victims of DV, and they don't understand that we see this woman getting bullied and we want to help her because we want to help her, and it has nothing to do with them. It's like they can't conceive of it.
Yeah, exactly. Like, we don't, as a community, all of us do not stand for any bullying or harassment or threats of any type. Like, that is like a no-go at all. Even the one that we don't like to name doesn't deserve death threats at all. Okay, that is not okay to do to anybody. And this lady just wants to be talking the truth, not her truth or his truth, but the truth. And her doing that, she's getting backlash on her charity. She's getting, her family have been threatened. She's been getting all sorts of trouble, and that's not okay at all.
Yeah, no, it's not. And first of all, hello, Haley, Angie. Are you able to hear us?
Hey,
Yes,
Haley,
can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you.
Okay,
And
great.
Diamond Knight says something interesting here. AH will twist anything till it fits her narrative. She could care less about charities and the people she's hurt. And that's very, very true. It's really all about her. If anybody thinks she actually cares about female or male DV victims, they're going to be in for a rude awakening. She's using them because they are convenient, and that's really all it is. It's all about her. How is this going to help me? And if it doesn't, she's not interested. Look at the charities she supports. She literally chooses ones that will put her in the spotlight. That's all it
They'll
is.
give her a platform.
Exactly. Exactly. And yeah, there's, I don't know what to think with
She's hurt too many people.
Oh yeah, she just wants to hurt people, and it seems like her stands are just taking all the leads from her. Now, they may not be in normal life acting like they are acting online. They may not be these people just kind of out to hurt people, but they are just so solidly, it's almost like they're brainwashed. I almost feel sorry.
It's like zombies or something.
And the thing is, what they don't realize, they're getting all these DMs and they're getting told how special they are. And the minute she doesn't need them, they'll never hear from her
It's going to hurt them just as much.
Oh, yeah.
It wouldn't surprise me if most of them are probably bots repeating the same thing over and over again. Because I've been looking at the statistics regarding Amber Heard on Instagram, and it's called Social Tracker, if any of you want to Google it. And you just go on there and you type her name and click the Instagram profile, and her statistics for her followers on Instagram, they'll go down by literally thousands, and then the next 2 days later they'll go up by about 6,000 or something. It just looks so suspicious. There's not a consistency of growth.
Hello, I thought somebody said something.
I think that's Haley.
No.
I don't know what to tell you with these guys. Some of them may be bots, and I have noticed the more they get ignored, the more that they get blocked and screenshotted, the more outlandish their posts on Twitter become, because they want that backlash from us. And if they're not getting it, then they're going to go to more extreme measures online every time.
Yeah, they want a trigger. And because I've got a feeling that she's trying to get proof for VA that she received threats or bullying of some type, which we don't stand for at all. Like, literally none of us stand for that. A lot of us have been through something similar domestically, and you know, we're not going to go online and start bullying people like we're 12 years old.
No, and
the truth out, not to do that.
And I've had a lot of experience with cyberbullying just due to the community I'm usually involved in. The autistic community, we have been getting bullied, threatened, all kinds of just horrible things for years. Sometimes it slows down. Sometimes, like especially during Autism Awareness Month, it revs up. But what's interesting is it's all the same tactics. It's almost, I don't even know what to tell you. Maybe some of the antis hire bots too, but it's almost, if you put the messages side by side, they're almost identical.
Yeah. I can believe that. I really can. It's like the bloody
Absolutely. Sorry, that's my dog.
Jiffy.
Angie, you're very pretty, darling. Haley,
I'm sorry, what?
you're very glitchy, my love. Close StreamYard down and come.
So,
Okay, let's try that.
oh, that's the one I want to look at. So Tina says she thinks that AH believes her own stories. I don't know if she does or not. She may be one of those people that if the man doesn't give her exactly what it is she wants, then she thinks that is, maybe she thinks that's abuse. Or if he didn't give her exactly what she wanted when she wanted it, that's abuse. That he didn't continue to stay around and listen. Who knows? But I don't know if she actually believes he did all those things. I think she knows it's lies.
Yeah. I feel like she started off knowing that it was lies, and I feel that she's come to convince herself that it's real. You know, you tell the brain something so much, it's gonna believe it. The same way as if like somebody tells you, "Oh, you're not good enough times, you're gonna start feeling not good enough." So if you tell yourself the same lie over and over again, your mind is going to start convincing itself that that actually happened. But I think that she did start out knowing that this was a lie, and I think that she's now at least half convinced herself that it's the truth.
I don't even know. But Echo Spice, which I kind of missed this comment, but in the kitchen video from AH, I will tell you right now, she saw him agitated, she saw an opportunity, and she decided, she knew that was not the time to be talking to him. She knew that was not the moment to be talking to him. He needed to calm down before that she jumped into anything. Just my personal opinion. So she saw an opportunity to rile him up. She saw an opportunity to rile him up and get it on film. Now, maybe she was trying to instigate him actually hitting her. I don't know. She failed miserably at that. But
yeah, the fact that she got herself laughing on camera, that's the best part for me. That we actually could see her for what she truly is. And to you know, we've seen the version. We got to see the edited version there, and we got to see the version where she picks up the camera and she's snickering. I'm telling you one thing, right? When you're scared for your life, you're not gonna like, I can't think of the word now, but you're not gonna wind up your oppressor and, you know, try to get him more angry.
No, you're
by
not.
laughing. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, oh.
Like, I got you. Like, yes, you're terrified for your life. You are so terrified for your life right now. Of course you are. All right, there's our troll, everybody. Everybody say hi to your boy, Gary.
Your boy, Troll. Hello,
Hey.
everyone.
Hey, troll.
Hey, sorry I'm late. Look at this.
All right,
Tiffany, you
Dr.
go.
Soup
First
is
live
here.
stream. Hey.
Yay!
I was listening to what you guys were saying though, and hello to everyone. If let me see, I can turn on comments here. Yeah, I can see comments. Okay, cool. Hi everyone. Hope you're having fun. Sorry I'm late. And but yeah, with that kitchen video. All right, let's get to that. That was a total, like, to me, it was just an opportunity for her to catch him in a moment of a rant, of like a just a, just a frustrated moment, and he was hitting things and smashing things, and so she thought, oh, let me catch this, and then I can show the true Johnny, and which is not the true Johnny, of course. But everybody gets frustrated like that. I mean, I've slammed cabinets before. You know what I'm saying? I've hit things. Whenever I'm mad, I hit inanimate objects, and I paid the price for it sometimes. Like, I fractured my hand one time because I was so mad at my sister one time. I punched a door, and it broke my fifth metacarpal.
Wow.
But, and then I didn't even know it was broken. It just healed by itself, but it healed kind of crooked. But that was the last time I ever punched anything that hard before. But I mean, people, they go through that, and she just saw that as an opportune time to catch him on video. You saw how she was hiding. She was trying to hide the phone.
Maybe on the court.
And then she tried to like egg it on, like, what happened? What happened? I'm so, all I did was say I'm sorry. And it was nothing. She tried to make it about her.
Yeah.
She tried to twist it and make it about her when it had nothing to do about her. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, that's when he found out that he lost a whole bunch of money and his mom was dying. I don't know if she had passed yet, but he was going through some shit, and he just lost millions of dollars, like $500 million almost.
Yeah, like 500 mil or something like that.
Yeah.
I can't remember the exact amount.
And then if you listen to what he's saying, he's like, did anything happen to you this morning? I don't think so. Because that's the way somebody would react when somebody keeps trying to egg them on and try to keep making it about themselves.
Yeah.
He's just all in his head, like thinking, I can't believe I'm going through this right now. I can't believe this is happening to me. And then she's coming at me, and I'm like, chick, did anything happen to you this morning? I don't think so. Leave me alone. And then he caught the camera, and he was like, oh, you got this going. You're going to try to set me up. I mean, it was, I'm just, paraphrasing, but you can hear it when he says it. He's like, you're trying to set me up or whatever like that. And then he grabs the phone and he just throws it in the bin. And then she pulls it out, and, she's just snickering like, gotcha type deal.
Oh my goodness. And here's the thing. And guys do it. My brother's done it. When it's a female and they don't want to hit the female, but they're angry, they're going to attack inanimate objects. It happens.
Yeah, it's just frustration.
You better believe it.
I literally.
I'm sorry, guys. I haven't had my tea yet. I'm having a corn dog.
I've literally seen on Twitter, a girl tried to convince me that him slapping cabinets was abusive. I'm like, you're talking to someone who's autistic. I have full-blown meltdowns. I have put holes in walls, in doors. I have broken plates, furniture.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't harm a physical person. So are you telling me that I'm abusive? And basically her comeback, well, yes, that's abusive behavior. I'm like, so you're telling me something that comes from my diagnosis, over which I have no control and in which no one is harmed and everybody's well aware of.
Yeah. Well, just like tonight, I was like, I was supposed to give my children a shower tonight, but time got a bit on, so I said I'll give them a shower in the morning, because we're going out in the morning. So I said, right, well, everyone can have a shower in the morning. But my son, as you already know, Tiffany, he's looking at an autistic diagnosis. Things are moving on a little bit now. It's going to the board. But he went through, I don't know what to call this. I call it like a stage of anxiety, or like he starts laughing and then he'll start crying and then he'll start laughing again. It's like he can't process that emotion, and he'll get angry when he's crying as well. But it's not that he's being abusive, it's just because he doesn't know how to understand that emotion in that moment in time. He can't process it.
Right.
And
The
is
change.
yeah.
And here's the thing. Johnny has ADHD, and there's a lot of crossover in between autism and ADHD. ADHD, they have their own version of meltdowns. I went and looked it up. And what he was doing right at that moment was an ADHD meltdown. It's almost freaking textbook.
Mm-hmm.
He just lost his mom. He just lost all this money, and she's been gaslighting him all this time, and he just finally snapped. And, well, I call it an ADHD snap. I call mine autism snaps. He just snapped, and we go after furniture. We go after inanimate objects. We do not go after people.
Yeah.
In my opinion, that is not abuse. That is just something that happens when we are completely overwhelmed. And I can also tell you, as I don't know what kind of abuse you would call it when it's a step sibling and not a parent, but I went through that for a decade as a child, and I had a lot more violent meltdowns with destroying inanimate objects and more self-destructive behavior than I did towards actually causing anyone any kind of physical harm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. Because the thing is, it's not about hurting people. It's about trying to process that situation at a moment in time, and trying to get through it. And that's what I observe with my child anyway, as I've spoken to you about this, Tiffany. And there is times when sometimes if somebody's close, he'll get them by accident, but he don't mean to. Do you know what I'm saying? And Johnny Depp literally was just hitting a cupboard. That was not a person. That doesn't make him a violent person. And having ADHD or being on the spectrum in any stage does not make you an abusive person whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
At all.
No, that's why part of the reason why I started covering it. I'm like, you guys don't realize how much in this situation it's going to involve, how even DV actually affects people who are neurodiverse. Of course, it affects anyone horribly, but you take someone with what we call now, instead of no empathy, hyper empathy, which just listen to the boy talk. He's hyper empathetic. You can tell.
Yeah.
You can tell. When you have hyper empathy and you fixate on what it is you think you're doing wrong, and this is going on and it's happening to you, it takes on another dimension entirely.
Yeah, it does. And like you said, he's very empathetic. But see, my only problem with that whole video thing was that Amber was trying to capitalize on her little scheme. And that's horrible. That's a horrible part, because what he was going through was for real. And like you said, the ADHD thing. And I mean, I've had moments like that too, where I've had meltdowns like that. And I feel like I have ADHD as well, even though I've never been diagnosed. But there's a lot of times where I can't even put words together when I'm trying to think, like even on a live stream. I mean, I'll have my mind set up on what I want to say, and then when it comes down to it and the camera's on, it all disappears.
I get it. What happens when I get too emotional or too angry, and this is where I can sympathize with my nonverbal counterparts, is I either start fumbling over words, or it just becomes extremely difficult to be able to speak.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Hey, it's 5:55 right here where I am. That's
Oh.
an angelic number.
Yeah.
All right, JFD is back with us. Hi, Justice Fredette.
Yeah.
Where's everybody's beautiful faces? Come on now. This is your first stream, Tiff. You got to see your face. There's JFD. We got to
I'm-
see Kaylee too.
I'm just having a cig. I won't be in that.
Oh, okay. Nah, don't worry about that.
I'm here.
We already know. There she is. Right there. There she
Oh.
is right there.
I'm
Come on,
hiding.
you.
Yeah, I won't be long.
I haven't even shaved.
I've not even got
Rebecca,
to.
yeah, 5:55.
I've got to make myself. I've got to go and put this phone in the tripod now.
Oh.
I was running a little bit behind on time.
You look at you're all like, I didn't shave. Well, I'm sorry, but you're not exactly pulling a Zod right now.
Full on
Yeah.
beard.
No, I have a beer envy when it comes to Zod. I can't grow all that. It's just right here. I get little patches here and there and on my neck, but
That's good.
I can't do the whole thing.
You suit it, so.
All right. Put on that lip gloss. He's that's hilarious.
Get upset and freak out, but he didn't touch her at all. Exactly.
All right, folks. So yeah, the video and just the logic of everything that comes out of her mouth. One of the worst ones. I swear, like my brain stopped. The whole I'm not an alcoholic. I just drink wine. I'm just all like, girlfriend, let me sit you down. We need to have a little bit of a talk. Because you see those lines of bottles of wine down the street that you have there that says you're an alcoholic, sweetheart. I hate to be the one to break it to you. Like, how does that, alcohol is alcohol.
Yeah.
Her logic, or even better, when she was like, I was busting into the bathroom so I could see if he was puking or passed out, and I was trying to get in the bathroom too, Johnny, so that he wouldn't punch me. I'm just like, what the actual?
It doesn't make sense. It's like when Gary says I can't sleep because I'm awake.
Oh, Haley's back.
You know what I meant by that.
Hello, Haley.
Hello, can you hear me now?
We can hear you.
Hello, Haley.
Hello, Gary.
You know my voice.
Yep.
All right, Haley, what do you think about that video, or even just some of her more nonsensical statements?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
The TMZ video.
Oh, she was out of her mind. I mean, to do something like that to somebody that you supposedly love, that's not. I can't see.
Not to mention, when somebody that you love, that your spouse, their parent dies, would anybody on the panels, their first reaction be to go and then film their heartbreak, their meltdown, whatever? Would that be your response? Because it wasn't mine.
No, not at all.
Who does that?
Weirdos like Turda.
I mean, yeah, I did something that was not so good, which is basically drown myself at the bottom of a bottle when my dad died, but I wasn't, nobody around me, my brothers, my mom, they weren't trying to go and film me. It was more along the lines of they were going to hug me and wait for me to be ready to talk. They weren't trying to go and film me. It was more along.
Oh, we have an echo.
Yeah, give me one sec.
But no, you're absolutely right, man. I mean, and it was obvious. I mean, when she she was hiding the phone, first of all. Like, why are you hiding the phone? What are you trying to capture while he's going through this? And then you make accusations. All I did was say I'm sorry this morning. I don't know what happened. And then pointing out, did you drink all of this morning? And then like, you want crazy? Here's your crazy. Like, I honestly think that maybe that morning she probably went on to him because he was probably upset, and she probably was like, "You're acting crazy." So when she made that comment about the wine, and he was like, he just had it with her. It's like, you want crazy? Here's your crazy. Here's all your crazy.
Right?
You know, you're not even feeling me. You're supposed to be my wife. You're supposed to be, you know, consoling me, but yet here you are trying to make it about you. But this has nothing to do with you. Did anything happen to you this morning?
Yeah.
And then he finds the camera, and he was like, "Oh, you got this going. You got this going. You're trying to, you know, sneak something on me." And he throws it in the bin, and she pulls it out, and all of a sudden she's like, "Like, what is
He
that?"
knew. I think he knew at that moment it was
Yeah.
done, and it was only a matter of time.
It was definitely done, and it was, you could tell that was a setup, but he had other things on his mind. I mean, come on, 500 million on his mind, and his mom dying on his mind. And then the final straw
financial
was
problems happen at the same time.
It was around that same time
Yeah.
Okay.
when he found out that he got duped by his financial managers or whatever it was.
Right.
Yeah, it was around the
Sorry,
same
guys.
time.
I'm being
You're
rude,
right.
but I'm hungry.
Eat away.
Corn dog.
Professor brought up something interesting. That's absolutely not love. Can anybody think of one single thing she did in her time with him that shows love? I'm going to be honest with you. Nothing that wasn't artificial. Like, she would do the pecks when they were in public. She might kiss his cheek or hold his hand. But even that looked so mechanical. It was literally like she was putting in a token effort to try to keep up the facade.
Yeah, like I do it because I have to. Let's play the doting wife.
You talking about Amber with Johnny? The way she
Yeah.
was with him. I think she's just like wearing him like a new sweater. You know what I mean? She flaunts him around like, oh, look at me with my new coat. His name is Johnny.
His new coat. Her new coat.
Yeah. It's all strategic.
That's right. Isa said all that fake PDA for publicity. That's all it was.
Exactly.
I think in the beginning she schmoozed him hard. This is the stuff we probably wouldn't have seen. She probably loved bombed him, hung all over him. She was probably gushing over whatever book he was reading. Probably would go and read the cliff notes and then use that to engage to sound like she knew what she was talking about. I think she smoothed him. She did all the right things during the time. She mirrored him. And then I think eventually, I don't know if she just got tired or whether she's all like, you know what? I got him now. I've got the ring on my finger. I don't have to do this anymore.
Right. And he always looked so nervous when he was with her.
Yeah. Uneasy. Very uneasy.
Exactly.
You know what I think she did though? Sometimes I know she's a. Some people say that she's a reader. She's an avid reader, whatever. But I feel like any books that he would talk about, and she would do it. What I would do, like in elementary school, like if I had to do a book report on a book, I didn't want to read it. I would just read the summary on the back of the book and try to do my book report based on the summary on the back. So she probably did that, you know, that sort of thing. Like you said, the Cliff Notes. Just fake the funk wherever she could, but she's good about it.
Didn't realise my mic was off. I said it doesn't surprise me, to be fair, that she would do something like that. and to make herself look intelligent. And
Yeah.
sorry, go on, Haley.
I was just saying it doesn't surprise me either.
Yeah, I mean, and nowadays we got Google. I mean,
Oh, back in the
You can-
day, you remember those little things you could get from the library? It'd be on classic books, and they had the little yellow lettering that said Cliff Notes on, and it'd be some classic.
mm-hmm.
That
Yep.
I wouldn't be surprised if she had something similar that she didn't pull up, so that it would be a little bit more in depth than the back of a book summary, so it could sound like she actually read it.
Yeah, it's called Wikipedia.
Yeah, that makes me sound old. I'm like, you remember those little yellow Cliff Note books you could get?
Mhm. I do remember those.
Hey,
You know
honey,
I do.
you're very young compared to me.
I'm a lot older than what I actually look like.
I'm a lot older than what I actually look like, too.
Enjoy that. Enjoy those blessings, ladies.
I am actually 52 years old.
Well, holy cow.
36.
28.
Okay, JFP,
yes.
what you got?
Bringing up Muskie here, pretended to be like an author. I have no doubt in my mind she schmoozed him. I think she saw an opportunity and she began researching immediately.
Yeah, I think she I think she had probably analysed him and seen what he liked, and she probably searched him and seen, because it's probably on the internet somewhere what authors he likes and stuff. And
Man, I could do that right now.
Yeah.
All right, one of you guys give me like an author or something that you like, and I'm gonna Google it, and I'm gonna pretend like I know exactly what I'm talking about.
Jude Devereaux.
Ooh, that's nice. Spell it for me, please.
Jude. Last name is Dev as in Victor, Eraux.
Jude Devereaux. Oh my God, yes, I love this person. It's a she, actually. Yeah, she's a phenomenal author of like all these romance novels. I mean, Chance of a Lifetime. Give me a break. God, how about Forgotten Murder? Jeez, you remember that? That's such a good one. It's a meddler mystery. That's actually book 3. I don't know if you've read it before, but
yes, I have.
See, doesn't it sound like I know what I'm talking about?
Yes, I'll throw you one, because
Imagine.
you're telling me you have no idea who she is. It might actually get you to look into her books, Gary. Look up Temple Grandin.
Temple Grandin. Okay. Temple like Temple?
Mm-hmm.
Temple Grandin, American scientist. Okay. Activist, prominent proponent for the humane treatment of livestock slaughter. Oh my goodness. Okay. Author of more than 60 scientific papers on animal behavior. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. I might have to check that one out. That's cool. Okay. But I mean, you see how easy it is. You know what I mean? Like, you can just Google something these days and just read a little bit, look it up on Wikipedia, and act like you know what you're talking about with someone, to just play them and to try to woo them. That's how manipulators do, you know? And then they might actually
we didn't even have computers.
Huh?
When I was in school, we didn't even have computers.
That's what I'm saying.
No, that didn't come till like about around middle school.
Yeah, and you know where computers came from, right? Here's a history lesson for you. Tell them, Keely.
Well, the first one, it was actually created in Manchester.
What?
Yeah. It is believed to have been created in the USA, but it's actually the first one was created in Manchester, in England.
Bit of UK history for you.
There's a lot of things that was created or invented in Manchester, but people seem to forget or don't know. Because sometimes the history is whitewashed to make it look like a certain way.
Mm-hmm. You know what else they created in Manchester that I didn't know about? Bog rolls.
All right. Well, I'm going to dox myself without doxing myself. I
Oh,
come
cool.
from the home of cashew chicken.
Ooh, the home of cashew chicken.
Mm-hmm.
I've never had cashew chicken, but that sounds lovely.
No, I've never
It
had
is good.
chicken.
It's fabulous.
Mhm.
Oh God. Okay, I guess I have to look that up.
Yeah. You're giggle today. You're doing
Oh
me today.
geez. No. That's Keely's job, man. She's the Google queen. All right, let's see where it came from. All right, okay, hang on 1 second for me. It's a Chinese American dish, but let's see, Springfield style, Springfield, Missouri.
Yep.
Okay, hey.
See, I can do that because I'm already kind of a semi-public figure, so I'm not really stating anything that the planet doesn't really already know.
Exactly.
Tiffany,
And yes, Tina, I'm still hungry.
Tiffany, I
still
admire
have-
you, what you're doing with all of the autism. If it weren't for people like you, I never would have been able to get the help from my son when
Mm.
he was through school. So
Yeah,
I really admire what you're doing.
well, I
Tiffany's
appreciate
amazing.
that. The service system is brutal. It's almost like you need a guide just to navigate it to even get started to try and get services.
Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah, you've been a big help to me as well, Tiff. Like I know we've only spoke a few times backstage, but you've helped me understand a lot of things that my little lad's going through. And the thing is, parents who are going through this is the best source. You know, you can go to all the specialists in the world, but the best place to go is to go to the actual source. People who are living with autism, who go through it and experience it and can understand it and tell you from their point of view what is exactly going on and how to support your child in the best way, in the way that they had support from their parents or the way that they needed support, and they learn that now going into adulthood. Now they've found the right support network, and amazing people like Tiffany do this and spread the knowledge and the information that we need. And I love that. You're amazing.
Well, I appreciate that.
Tiffany appreciation.
I've been doing it for years, but it hasn't just been me. The woman I had, Yabor Gary, look up. She's also been doing it for many years. She has several books out that I highly recommend to everyone. Thinking in Pictures is her most famous work. So she's been an advocate and an activist, an actual one, Amber, an actual advocate.
A real one.
You're talking about Temple Grandin, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Actually feet on the ground like the rest of us kind of advocate activist, not doing it for clout. And yeah, she's been doing it for the longest time. For those of us who are kind of my side of autism, there was like the token four. There was me, there was Temple, there was John Elders Robertson, and there was Alex Plank. And that was early 2000s, and that was pretty much all there was for a very long time. And since then, we've kind of become a neurodiversity international movement. We have our own hashtag on Twitter, and there's literally millions of us everywhere. And we kind of act as a network to get out information. We usually ask people to not go into the actually autistic hashtag because that one's for us. We usually ask if you're a parent and you have some questions. We set up another hashtag called Asking Autistics.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Very cool.
Yeah,
now, question: do you think that because my niece has been diagnosed with autism. She's autistic.
Mm-hmm.
But when she was born, she didn't really have those symptoms. But then when she went to get all of her vaccines, they gave her like a bunch of them at the same time.
I've
Do you
heard
think
this time and time again. No, no,
yeah,
no, no. It's
that
not
has
the
nothing to do with
vaccines,
it?
dude.
No.
Here's what's going on. When you're that age and you're getting your vaccines, your brain is still in development, right?
Mm,
Well, during that stage, when the brain's still developing, those months before, that was still infant mind.
right.
Okay, so even with a kid with Downs, they're still going to react like a normal baby.
Okay.
But as you grow, you get towards becoming a toddler and your brain starts to mature.
All right.
Then maybe things you weren't seeing before because, infant.
Mm-hmm.
From what I have seen and what I can talk about personally, it is genetic.
Okay.
More than likely, if you look at that person's family tree, one of their relatives fall under the neurodiverse umbrella. Whether it's like
That makes
mad
sense.
squirrel and you have dyslexia, or you have ADHD, you have dyscalculia, even anxiety disorder or BP, then more than likely you might end up with someone in the family is going to have a child with autism.
That makes
There's
sense.
also a shadow syndrome, and I can use my mom as an example. Shadow syndrome is basically kind of like a carrier, the carrier parent, so to speak, where they don't necessarily have autism, but they have traits. My mom is more of a hermit and has less tact than I do. She's more antisocial than I am. So she has those autistic traits, but she herself is not autistic. And more often than not, if you look at the parents or the grandparents or an aunt and uncle, the neurodevelopmental disabilities, you can see them if you look. It's genetics.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Okay.
found that with me. There's like, with my brother, he's my younger brother. He's been diagnosed being having autistic tendencies, and with my son's paternal uncle, his dad's brother, he's got Asperger's as well. And I feel weird because I'm the only one on the screen, so I'm turning myself off.
No, don't do that. Show your pretty face.
Sorry, I had to turn the air on.
It's all right. But yeah, so there is that genetics coming in there with myself, with my little lad as well. So that makes sense for me because I know that there was a lot of this stuff going around about when you have the children with the vaccine, but that's been proven now to be untrue. But what I think it is that I think you spoke about this as well, Tiffany, is that they've got a better way of assessing autism, and that's why it looks like the numbers are higher.
But
now.
it's not. It's the fact. Here's the thing. A couple of things. First of all, in 1994, they came out with the DSM-4, which is the diagnostic tools that they use to diagnose a whole bunch of disorders. In 1994, they came out with Asperger's syndrome, and for the first time, the concept of an autistic spectrum came out. After 1994 is when you see this sudden jump in numbers, right?
Yeah.
So it's not that more people suddenly have the diagnosis. It's just that people like me who are less likely to be noticed, usually, they used to just call it being eccentric.
Yeah.
So that's by and large where all of a sudden the massive numbers come from. And some of the advocacy community doesn't agree. But there's another factor too. there is a thing called trend diagnosing, at least that's what I call it. You remember, like, late 80s, early 90s, people getting diagnosed with ADD and ADHD was exploding and going crazy. And not everybody who got diagnosed with that disorder actually had it. I was actually misdiagnosed as having it in 2nd grade. So there is trend diagnosis. Autism is the hot, I hate God, this is going to make me sound like an ableist, but it is the very popular, we'll just say very popular diagnosis now. So if someone wants to more stay in and study and not really deal with the people around them, doesn't mean necessarily that they have autism, but because of all this stuff out now, you're going to have parents, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's it, you know,
My
like...
son, go ahead, Keely.
No, go on, Ava, it's all right.
My son was diagnosed in 99, but he was diagnosed with Asperger's, ADHD, ODD, which is oppositional defiance disorder, PDD, which is pervasive development disorder, and bipolar.
Oh, wow.
Well, mine came back from 2003. What they had me first diagnosed as was Asperger's syndrome, which is no longer a part of the DSM-5. It's now autism spectrum disorders across the board now. So it was Asperger's syndrome with OCD tendencies, post-traumatic distress disorder, and depression and anxiety disorders. Since then, I had a doctor with some logical sense of common sense narrow it down. He's like, your OCD tendencies are a part of your autism. I don't even know why they included this. So he put it back down to autism spectrum disorder with post-traumatic stress disorder.
Yeah.
Well, with the oppositional defiance, my son is still defiant against anything I try to do for him.
I'm not really that familiar with ODD, to be honest, although it does sound like something that my stepbrother probably had.
Well, I've dealt with it now for 27 years. So.
Oh, you probably know more.
How old is he again?
Oppositional defiance, he's 27.
Oh, 27. All right.
Yeah, but he is not capable of working.
He's not capable of working?
No.
So how do you how are you able to?
He is on Social Security.
Okay.
With the defiance, he defies any authority figure.
Really?
And the pervasive development, he's not developed the way he should. In some ways, he's more developed. In other ways, not as much.
Mm-hmm.
I gotcha. And Big Daddy-O joined us. So, Big Daddy-O, we were just talking about this. I don't believe there is so much an increase in people suddenly getting disabilities. I believe that's a load of nonsense. I think diagnostics are getting tighter. They're getting better. They're including people that should have been included, like myself, that for years and years went underneath the cracks. And it's still like pulling teeth to get anyone who's around my area of the spectrum to get any kind of services at all, which is horrible. You're basically running a gauntlet there. But I don't think it's the numbers increasing. I think it's the diagnoses are increasing. And that's one of two factors. People getting correctly diagnosed for the first time, and it's trend diagnosing, misdiagnosing a lot of folks. There are a lot of folks who have what's a lesser known disorder called schizotypal disorder. There are people with schizotypal disorder who are misdiagnosed as being autistic. There are people who are actually sociopaths who are misdiagnosed for being autistic. There are those with a sensory processing disorder with none of the other traits that are misdiagnosed as having autism. So you see an increase from misdiagnosis too.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
That's the hard part, that to make sure that the right diagnosis, and then obviously they've got a lot better over the years now. Like I used to work in support work for adults with disabilities a few years back, and literally, I used to work with loads of different autistic adults, and there's such a big variety. It's like such a big umbrella or a big spectrum. Like I worked with people who were very who needed a lot of assistance and support in a lot of services, who couldn't communicate. Well, they could communicate, but in their own little way, if that makes sense. Even if it's just looking at something that was their way of communicating. And I also work with people who were very high functioning as well, that just needed a little bit of support in going shopping or in managing their budget or managing their food planner for the week and stuff like that. Making journeys and things. So I worked in independent support, so it was about helping people be independent and supporting people to be independent to their best of advantage, no matter what that independence required. Whether it was a lot of assistance or only just a little bit, we did a lot of support there for them. And the thing is, like, sometimes when you think of somebody who is the diagnosis of autism, you might think of somebody who is mute or somebody who can't talk, whereas that's not the case at all. It's so wrong to just putting labels on people or just assuming that people have a diagnosis or don't have a diagnosis because of in the way that they display themselves. Because people with autism, I know that my son is really good at this, they can mask, which is where they can present themselves in a manner that you can't tell that they have autism. So until they go home and they're back in that comfortable setting that they're in. I know that we spoke about this a little bit as well, didn't we, Tiff, a few weeks ago.
Oh yeah, and I actually talked a little bit about this on somebody's post the other day when it talks about the dude who told Johnny that his life is better with him in it, and he said how much he needed it. Meanwhile, during that day, he was all smiles. I'm like, it's something all neurodiverse do, and it's called masking.
Yeah.
Masking is, I used to say I have a mask for every occasion. It's this idea of once you go out the door, you have to be socially acceptable now.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
So you put on this mask and you become something that is more comfortable to the people around you. And yeah, that means we will smile on cue, we will laugh at the appropriate times. And that's the reason why a lot of us, especially females are we're almost intuitive when it comes to forming masks. Why it's so difficult to diagnose us, especially on my end of the spectrum, because we are so good at pretending to be normal. My aunt used to call it my horse and pony show, which is kind of hateful way of putting it. Her and I don't exactly get along, but yeah, we mask, so it's harder to tell.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You shouldn't just assume that you know what somebody is going through just because they look okay on the outside. And obviously, this goes in walks of life and not autism. Like the person next to you could be going through the most horrible time in the world, but they could be laughing and having a joke. But regarding autism, people put in their minds this image that if somebody's got autism, then they act a certain way or they do things a certain way, when that's not true at all. It's not acceptable.
Oh, hey guys, Alma's here.
Hey, Alma.
Hi, Alma.
She just said, Gary! You better say hi to her.
Hey, Alma, how you perking? Hope you're perking good. That's a South Carolina thing, I think, or a Southern thing. They know what I'm talking about.
Right.
She needs to come on here too. Well, you know, I think her nephew and nieces. I don't know if one or both are autistic as well. So she'd probably be a good one to bring on the stream as well if she'll come on. If you want to send her a link, I don't know if you want.
I wouldn't mind, but I would.
Yeah, I mean, I can jump out and just let the girls do the thing.
Well, we don't have like poor Rob with like multiple people on the panel right now. Yeah. I would just have to have somebody walk me through on how to send out another.
No, you don't have to worry about it. I'll tell you what, if you want, I can DM her the link that you sent me.
Okay, that will work.
And then I'll jump out, and then you guys can keep going, and I'll just stay in the chat. Cool.
Okay, she just said, y'all, no worries, y'all can chat.
Nope, gonna put her on the spot. I'm gonna do it.
Hey, Gary, I wanted to thank you. When I was on Keely's stream on Tuesday, I was in a manic depression mode.
Oh, no, I'm sorry.
And you were doing stuff to make me laugh.
Oh, well, I'm glad.
So I really appreciated that.
Well, thank you. That means a lot to me. That really does. You know, and you can reach out to me too anytime. I mean, we follow each other on Twitter, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
You can reach out to me anytime.
And
me, whatever you need.
Sean B.
Thank you.
Just a bit of a suggestion to you, and some of my fellow autistics do it because all of us have difficulties staying at a job just due to social pressures, sensory, what have you. Have you ever thought of maybe starting your own business? Maybe, I don't know if you paint, if you have a hobby. One of my folks that follow me on Twitter called Autistic Ceramics, and they have a little Etsy business where they paint skulls and hearts and different kinds of artwork. Or if you want to just write, there's Amazon self-publish that you could crowdfund. Just something along those lines. If like mainstream work doesn't work for you, there's still other options.
I mean, there's one of the reasons I feel comfortable with your job. There's all kind of options. I mean, even here, that's what we're doing.
Yep. If it weren't for this doing the streams and everything, I probably would have lost my mind already. Like a lot of the small businesses around here have closed, and so many people are out of work that trying to get into a job has been literally like pulling teeth. So I've been seeing like on this and trying to turn this into something so I wouldn't have to keep going back to call center roulette, as I like to call it. Call center industry is never stable. A project ends, you have to go search for another one. And yeah, so I figured, well, maybe I can do something with this, get out of call center roulette, do what I'm actually good at.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
I don't know. It's just been, like you said, it's been like pulling teeth. I got lucky with it's a lot about it's always about who you know, with a lot of jobs and stuff like that. And I mean, because I have all kinds of different experience under the sun, and
Yeah.
I, yeah, Keelan knows. I told her I've I've done probably everything you can think of. But it's always hard to land something, especially like if you applying online or if you even go in person. It's just it's tough these days, especially with this whole pandemic thing happening. But yeah, I got lucky with this maintenance job, but it's fine. It's working out. But you got to
Yeah.
just you got to put yourself out there and do what you can.
How's your
Um,
arm?
hmm?
How is your arm?
How's your
Oh, the
arm?
burn. Oh, it's good. See, you can't even really see it that much
It's
anymore.
healed. It's healed up so well.
Yeah, I've been like giving it proper attention. I always tell myself my body has an uncanny way of healing itself, and I preach it. I'm like, oh, you're doing so good. Look at you. Oh, you're healing up so good. I give it praise. You know, that's just. I
Hey,
know it sounds
whatever works.
weird. It sounds weird, but that's what I do. I talk to myself that way.
Well, I am grabbing a link because somebody showed some interest in self-publishing, and I'm getting ready to put it in the chat.
Oh, and Alma, if you're still there, I sent you the link, so you guys can go on and keep talking about this stuff because you know she's got experience in this as well. And
There we go. All right, coming back on here. Okay. So anyone who's interested in doing self-publishing, especially with everything that's going on right now, take a look at the chat. I just put a link in. It's basically called Straight to Kindle Self-Publishing.
Cherry, sorry, I just saw a comment.
Cherry, oh my,
Oh God.
you know what? I'm sorry. I have to highlight that. Seriously, woman.
Yes, I'm rubbing myself. She's so funny. I love Cherry. I love Cherry to death. You're so funny.
I'm surprised she didn't put it in quotes and put Gary 2021.
I'm rubbing myself for all of 2021. That sounds about right. Yeah, I'm perfectly lonely. Okay, anyway, go on. Next.
All right. So, chat, now coming to you, putting you all on the spot. What do you folks want to talk about? You want to talk about JD versus AH? You want to talk about Johnny the man himself? Anything interesting happened to somebody today?
If I could, I'd like to say, I've been using Haley Angie for my name.
Mm-hmm.
I have used that as a tribute to my daughter, to my loss, but I am going to change my name to Angie, which is my real name. So everybody can just call me Angie.
That works.
Okay.
And
All
when we were
right,
talking
Angie.
about the disabilities, I know Keely knows about me.
Yeah.
Now, I have had major back surgeries, several of them, and I can't feel my left leg from the knee down.
Oh.
So the doctors have told me that when I go out, I am supposed to use a wheelchair because even if it's my own fault, I could turn around and sue somebody for falling in their place of business. So the only place I am actually allowed to walk is at home and with a cane and with people nearby to pick me up when I fall.
Oh dear. That must be
So
hard.
I just wanted to give everybody a little bit of information about me since, you know, this is the first time I'm coming on live, so that you know a little bit of what's going on.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So Diamond Knight brought up a topic. And can we talk about how AH was owned by a former pawn on Twitter? I'm actually not aware of this, strangely. I'm usually on Twitter a good majority of the day these days. So, Diamond, what exactly happened there?
We can talk
Anybody
about
know?
age was owned by a former Twitter. Huh?
I haven't seen anything about that, weirdly enough.
I heard she did something,
She always does something.
but I'm not sure. I thought it was just a. You remember when she did the "I miss you" thing, and blah, blah, and Darth News even like recreated it. And he was like, "I miss you." I don't know if the, I don't know if that's what she's talking about, but yeah, the the only one I saw was Darth, his recreation of it, and that was enough for me. It's like, okay, I'm good.
Darth
Darth.
starts with, so the barn witch, I'm like, and it's going to go downhill from here.
He's so funny though.
Yeah, he's hilarious. But
Oh, there's Cherry.
like I have to explain it to you. Really, Jerry? You might have to just a little bit more. A little bit more. Actually, no, don't. This is not here.
No, it's gonna get excited real fast.
No.
Less is more, Cherry. Less is more. Diamond says Mia Khalifa retweeted AH's photo of her in her Mira costume, quoting, "This could have been left in the drafts."
He blocked her after that. Who's Mia Khalifa?
I know she is a check mark.
She's on Twitter.
Yeah,
No.
I saw that, and I'm sorry, but she looked drunk as hell. She moved like a drunk person.
Oh, in her mirror thing that
In her mirror
the
outfit,
video.
that little video, I'm like,
Yeah, when she's
what
trying
are
to.
you
She's
doing?
all.
And
Yeah.
what are you on? And what are you on that made you think it was a good idea to post this?
Yeah, and where can I get some?
Like, seriously, somebody needs to take away all her devices after a certain point. Like, after she goes through the first bottle, her team needs to step in and be like, okay, Amber, we're going to take your phone. We're going to take your laptop.
No social media for you.
Right?
No.
I mean, what I find really amusing is she does all this stuff, and she does all these photos to provoke Johnny. And meanwhile, this poor guy knows less about social media and technology than I do. He's out on his island, probably drinking a Mai Tai, having no care in the world, having no idea what she's doing. So I'm like, are you putting the effort in for him? Or are you just trying to bait us? Because you were married to this guy. You have to know he doesn't know how to do any of this.
Mm-hmm.
So who's it for?
Yeah. Exactly, man.
It's for anybody who will pay attention to her.
That's it. She's an attention seeker.
Yeah, she's the biggest attention seeker going. But I'm living for the drunk tweets, and I'm living for arguing with Adam Waldman on Twitter because she just got that shovel out and she just keeps digging the holes there bigger and bigger for herself.
She
Yeah.
keeps leaving bait. She keeps leaving out embarrassing videos. She keeps leaving out all these little crumbs. And all these little crumbs are being left out because she wants us to come in and comment.
Exactly.
I guarantee you.
And
She
Alma
wants
just said the
to-
same thing that you guys are saying just now. She said maybe it's a good thing that AH's handlers aren't hiding her behaviors. Looks good in a legal battle for JD, perhaps.
Especially that video of her in the Mira costume. She wants to bring up his alcoholism. All he has to do be like, well, I don't know how to run this, but my lawyer over here has this video.
Mm-hmm.
Does this look like a sober person to you?
Yeah. And she'll probably come back with, there was heels. There were heels. There were wedges. They weren't heels. You can handle wedges. Come on now.
Who can't handle wedges?
I know what wedges are. Come on, man. I grew up with sisters. And they can run around and play volleyball in those things.
Your sisters are beautiful.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, they're awesome, man. That was fun. That was a little fun stream that we had.
What's this here? No one has posted her. Okay, so since she's done her little thing for the Snyder Cut and L'Oreal, you notice that they haven't said anything back. I'm like, that's because you lava and they need to stay on land.
They don't even like when she put that video out about L'Oreal. It's like they didn't even like the Instagram post. By the way, Cherry, I'm loving that, the mystical Mancunian. Mancunian is what you call people from Manchester.
Mancunian. Yeah, Mank.
Alma said, yes, your sisters are stunning. #jealous. Oh, shush, Alma.
Oh yeah, sure.
Yes.
You don't need to be jealous. You and your sister. Jesus, I can't even talk. You and B, stunning too. Don't be jealous.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I was caught in a stunning twin sister sandwich, and I didn't know what to do with myself, man. And my audio didn't know what to do either because it was blah 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 blah. Sound like I'm underwater, man.
I'm just gonna set the record straight. All of us here are gorgeous. Everyone's gorgeous, but Amber Heard.
Oh.
Oh,
Yeah, Tiffany, I can agree with that. All of you here are gorgeous except for the turd.
How would you know if I'm gorgeous or not? You've never seen me.
Well, show your face.
Well, that's because being gorgeous has nothing to do in reality with what you look like. It's
Exactly.
who you are.
Exactly. Precisely.
I can't show my face right now.
That's all right.
That's okay.
I'm seeing my son.
I don't like my face, but you know.
oh, babe. Don't you start.
No, seriously. Okay, bye.
All right, Alma's telling us all that we've got fire.
You got fire. What?
Oh,
Don't talk to me about fire, girl.
Liar.
Don't talk to me about fire. I just got over fire.
But no, everybody in this community that they say are full of harassers and full of cyber bullies and the worst people on the planet. No, every single one of us, when one of us has been in trouble, has willingly, even during a pandemic, shield up at least what they could in order to help somebody out. This community has raised over $20,000 for Johnny's favorite charity, the Children's Hospital, whose exact name escapes my head for some reason. Everybody, when somebody is in trouble and they just need emotional support, there are literally hundreds of comments there immediately. So, in my opinion, that makes this a gorgeous community. It's not full of hate. It's not full of spite. And in spite of what Miss Heard thinks, we're not all there to go after her. It's not all about her. My God, somebody should have told her this as a child. The world does not revolve around you.
Mhm.
Exactly.
I think she thinks it does.
Oh
If
my
she ain't
God.
the center, if she ain't the center of the universe, she's got to bloody make herself. Like the whole controversy with the dress, so that she wore the same dress twice. It doesn't even look like the same dress after.
Can I be the first one to say nobody cares?
I know, like nobody even was looking at that dress when she.
Nobody cares what clothes she's wearing. Nobody cares what she has to say, in spite of what grandiose thoughts she has about herself. Nobody cares that she's a quote-unquote activist. I'm sorry, I'm going to curse a little. Activist my ass. She doesn't, coming from an actual activist, an actual advocate, it's more than just smiling in front of the camera and saying some words in front of a microphone. It is boots on the ground. It's talking to senators face to face. It is being with the grassroots campaigns on the ground, holding up signs. It's grant writing. It's not just smiling in front of the camera and speaking in front of the microphone and throwing a token amount of money, which doesn't even mean much to her or isn't even much of a sacrifice. A real advocate is boots on the ground. It's constant activity all the time. It's networking. It's calling, writing your senators. So she can tell me she is a freaking human rights activist all she wants, but honey, the AH, like, I doubt she comes by, but just in case she does, where are the receipts? Where are pictures of you with boots on the ground? And I don't mean those fake pictures like for the BLM. I mean actual photos of being a participant, not freaking photo op.
I know, like give me the child, like in the hospital. The child looked bloody scared to go with her. And the parent didn't even want to pass the child over. Have you seen that video, like where she's getting a picture took with her kid?
Yeah, it's like barely holding on to the thing.
And TJ, I am saving my F-bombs and my sailor's mouth for PB, okay? PB and I are going to have an uncut chat at some point whenever we work it out. And that's when I'll let the F-bombs fly free. But until then, we'll try to keep this somewhat nice.
Well, why wait for then? I can do it right now here with you.
I'm sorry, Gary, that's terrible.
This is my PB impersonation.
And it's bad.
And it's bad. PB means pretty bad. Shut it, Gary. Shut the F up.
Yeah, no, that's
Hey, I kept it clean. I kept it clean.
Your Gary your impersonation of Rob, excuse me, is pretty good. But
Rob.
I love the impersonation of Rob doing the impersonation of you. That makes me laugh every time.
Oh, Rob trips me out. Every time he impersonates me, it's hilarious. That's funny because
Jerry.
Get him, Tiffany. That's right, Jerry. F you, Jerry. I can do PB just fine.
Oh, also, Cherry K put up one of my petitions. If you don't know what that's about, that was from a while back. Shane McGowan, Johnny's friend, who's in Crock of Gold, he went on a late night show to promote the film. And after he went on there, social media basically just tore into him because of how he speaks and tore into him in regards to his disability.
Really?
And I just got super angry because I am tired of Hollywood and the media constantly tearing down people with disabilities. So that was what that petition is about.
Oh, everyone go and check that out. Someone sign the petition.
Because, yeah, that's uncalled for.
It is uncalled for, and the thing is, I don't know what people get out of putting other people down. Like, you got nothing nice to say, then don't say it.
Mm-hmm.
I've
I
been
mean, you're
out in
looking
the
at.
store. I mean, you guys know I told you I'm 52 years old, but I don't look it. And if I'm out in the store somewhere and I'm in the wheelchair, I have had people tell me, get off your lazy ass and walk.
Oh my gosh. I've heard people tell some of my other friends that are in the wider disability rights community things like that.
Oh, yeah. It's horrible.
Mm.
Yeah,
But, you know, I wish I could just go out and walk. I wish I could go out and work. I hate not working.
Mhm.
But, I mean, there's only so much I can do. And there are some days where I literally can't even get out of bed.
Mm.
Yeah,
So,
no, I get it. My stepmom, Liza, she has like Keely, she has fibromyalgia.
Mm.
And there are days where moving at all is excruciating pain for her.
Yeah,
mhm.
it's fibromyalgia is one of the most horrible pain conditions because some days you can feel totally normal, like totally fine, and then you'll think, right, whilst I'm all right, I'll get everything done. Like, say you need to do a bit of painting or something that's needed doing, what's been pecking your head for ages, but you've not been able to do it because you've been in pain. So you think, right, I'll do it now. I'll do it today. I'm not in pain. I feel normal. And then you'll do it, and then for a fact, what's going to come. It's going to be like 2 or 3 days worth of pain is going to just farming at you. And it's an invisible illness. So from the outside, I look totally fine. But there's days when I have to use an elbow crutch, and people will go, "What's wrong with you? Like, have you injured yourself?" And I'm like, "I've not injured myself. I've got a chronic pain condition, which is invisible. You can only see my pain condition when I am limping and having to use this crutch, but it's there all the time." The pain that I experience on a day-to-day basis, a normal person would feel like they've just been hit or run over. But when I'm having to use an elbow crutch or when it knocks me on my back, that kind of pain is really bad. Like when you have a chronic pain condition, you're used to living with that pain every day. Do you know what I mean? Like every day, my pain is at like a 5 or a 6. But when I have a flare up, a really bad one, and it's like a 10, like the worst pain I've ever experienced in my life, and I know for a fact that a normal person wouldn't be able to go and walk with an elbow crutch or be able to limp and walk at all. It would literally put them in bed for weeks. Do you know what I mean? But when you live that every single day, you learn to put your life around it. It's like any sort of disability, you adapt and you acclimate and you build your life around it, whatever aids you need to use, whether it be a wheelchair, an elbow crutch. And that needs to stop. People need to stop assuming that they know what disability someone has by just looking at them on the outside and assuming stuff. Like,
Mm. Fair point.
All across any invisible disability, whether it's physical, whether it's neurodevelopmental. Like the people who tell me, and some of my fellows, we don't really have autism. It's because they've been accustomed by the media, by Hollywood, that autism looks a certain way.
Mm.
yeah.
So if we don't look like that, if we don't act like that, if we can communicate, if we can build networks between each other, if we can have Twitter accounts, and my God, the worst one I've heard yet, God forbid if we can read.
Oh, geez.
We can't possibly have real autism. Like, what makes you think nonverbals can't read?
Mm-hmm.
That's my own. If you have an invisible disability of any kind, then people just assume that you're not really disabled and that you're faking it for sympathy, that you're faking it for entitlements, for privileges, and they just don't understand there are no privileges. There are no reward prizes for having an invisible disability.
No, there's not. You just get people looking down their nose at you. Like when I'm on a day where I've got real bad pain and I'm having to use that disabled toilet because I need the handle. Do you know what I mean? People look at me like, why is she going in that toilet? How dare? That's for disabled people. Not realizing that I do have a disability. It's just hidden. You can't see it. If you could see what fibromyalgia looked like, you'd see a body full of bruises. Literally, like you would, because if it was visible, that's what it would look like. It looked like someone had been beat up.
Didn't you send me something on that too? You sent me like a little chart or something like what fibromyalgia actually looks like.
If it was
see
what people can't say, I'll find a thing now of it. But if you could see fibromyalgia, you would be in shock, because what fibromyalgia is, it sends off pain signals from your pain receptors and the thing is that to a normal, it's like, yeah, this one here shows you a little bit. Like if you could see fibromyalgia, it would look something like that.
Yeah, I've seen something like that before.
Yeah, that's what I'm visualizing is what the pain I feel.
Yikes!
You can't see it.
And Camille first brought something up that kind of like sparked my anger immediately. She has a long list of invisible illnesses: Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, severe pain. The doctor says no pain med for you. You look good. That's not how invisible pain diagnoses work. The whole point is the fact that they don't show outwardly, except for, expressions on your face due to the fact that you're in pain. That is completely ridiculous. That is completely ridiculous. I mean, I don't know if you have a way of actually getting to a specialist, but that's completely uncalled for.
Like in the UK, we have something called the pain clinic, which I don't know what country humility first is in, but if you're in the UK, it has to be referred to the pain clinic, and they might have something similar in different countries. Like I was referred to the pain clinic, and they gave me the medication they felt was best for me. It doesn't do anything. I only have one kidney that is it has a low kidney function, so I can't have opioids or anything like that. So the pain medication they gave me was actually antidepressants, which is one of the medications that they use to treat fibromyalgia. But it doesn't work. It does not work at all.
Yeah, it's an antidepressant. How does that?
Because it affects you.
Guys, it's been a great first live, but Zod is getting ready to go on, and I don't want to go over him. So let's.
Forget Zod. He'll be all right.
Oh, we don't want Sherry having to do double time. Come on now, be kind. Let's go ahead and wrap things up. I'm gonna have everybody go over what's next on their channel. You guys know the drill. I'll start with mine. So guys, as of right now, I did my video earlier. I'm mainly going to keep covering the harassment and just kind of the hatred being thrown during Autism Awareness Month. And it looks like some of my other folks who don't have autism are getting it thrown their way too. So I'll be covering that. 1 second. Pardon me. I hate allergies. Yeah. I'll be covering that. I will probably be starting to plan a live a couple of weeks from now to see if maybe I can, like you guys, kind of rotate people and get some other people in there. So probably a Monday 2 weeks from now, I'll do another live. I'll get you guys more information as I kind of work on that. Keely, what you got going on your channel?
So tomorrow I've got my live card readings, 10:30 p.m. UK time, 5:30 p.m. EST. The videos coming out are a little bit slow at the moment because it's the Easter holidays and it's very loud, but I'll try and get them out where I can. Watch out. And I've just hit 400 subscribers today.
Yay!
So,
Yeah.
and I'm in the talks backstage with some of the guys and trying to get a stream on Friday, which is going to be a fun stream. It's going to be getting Americans to guess British slang. So it's going to be something different, something fun. So I'm waiting for everybody to confirm. And Tiffany has said yes, and Gary has said yes, and I'm waiting to hear off everybody else. So that's what's going on with me this week.
All right.
Yeah,
Awesome.
absolutely.
And Gary, yes, you're getting put on the spot again, sir. What you got going?
No worries. Yeah, no, like Healy said, we're gonna celebrate her reaching 400 and going beyond already. And that stream is gonna be so much fun. I can't wait to participate. And don't worry, guys, she's not giving me any clues or anything. I'm gonna be blind as everybody else going into this one, trying to figure out UK slang. And don't be trying to Google it either, because there's a bunch of different dialects, so you
And
never
don't
know.
be cutting your head either. That's cheating.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So I'm going into this thing blind. Of course, I'm working a lot. I have a lot of ideas coming up. I want to give a shout out to Alma and her sister B. B's not here, but Alma's here. And well, when we did our live stream together, the twin sandwich thing, B did something cool. She took some clips from her readings on that stream, and then made videos for herself, showing it and everything, and the readings that she did. It was really cool. It turned out really good. So go check out B's channel too. It's B Lucille, I think it is on B Lucille.
All right, and guys, before
I'm plugging, but anyway, yeah.
Before we close out, I want everybody to flood hearts in the chat for Haley Angie coming on a stream for the very first time. I'm very honored, Angie, that you decided to choose my channel on my first stream to be the first one that you joined us on here.
Yes.
It's a real honor to have you on. So everybody flood the chat with love for Angie here.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I've really enjoyed it. I was nervous, but it's been really fun.
You're awesome.
You're amazing.
All right.
Can I just say quickly, if any Brits want to send me their suggestions for the stream to try and trick all these Americans, go ahead and DM me on Twitter.
All right, perfect. Guys, you know the drill. If you're not subscribed to Keely Talks or Gary, I don't know what you're doing with your life.
Or Tiffany, hello.
Yeah.
So
subscribe to this one right here.
Subscribe to the three of us. And guys, as always, like I always say during the end of my videos, I appreciate your time today, and I hope you all have a good one. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.